Hi everybody, it's Christine at CLAldridgeArt, and welcome back to a new coloring adventure. For those of you who don't know me, I am Christine Aldridge. I am an artist. I do draw a series of coloring books. This is one of my two newest releases, the Best of CLAldridge Mandalas. I also have my other brand new release, which is the Best of CLAldridge 40 Fan Favorites. It does feature 5 drawings from each of my first 8 books that are on the market. But you may notice this wonderful package sitting here. I have had the most beautiful happy mail from a subscriber. Um, and Melinda, thank you so very, very much for thinking of me. I, as many watchers know, have not been demonstrating alcohol markers of any kind because I didn't own any, and to be very honest, alcohol markers have always been somewhat above my own price point of willingness to put on my wish list. But the folks at CalArt listened very carefully to their fans and realized that they had a choice. They could go up or down, and they chose to come down. And when they did, I put these on my wish list. And let me show you what they are. They are absolutely amazing, and they come packaged beautifully. Of course, we have the Amazon gift bag, which is always so beautiful, and these are wonderfully made. And these are the CalArt art markers. They are made for CalArt in China, and they come beautifully wrapped in this plastic. So I will unpackage them and get this all ready and be right back. Okay, and there we go. As you can see, this package contains 100 alcohol markers. It's got this very cool carrying handle. It's got this very cool carrying handle. And when you open it up, I'm so excited, I really am. This are my first alcohol markers. It's got this package right, or this piece right in here. And now I've seen a lot of people who have these before, and they do say that one of the first things that happens is because it's not a rigid side, the markers all fall down. So in anticipation of that, I took a couple of pieces. I took an old book depository shipping envelope, and I cut it down to make some rigid sides to fit down in here. And then I also made a couple. I just took a plain sheet and made it to fit in there. So now it's more rigid and they all stand up. So that is how I solved that particular issue. Look at how beautiful they are. Oh my goodness. Now, they will still fall over, but not to the extent that they did before. And oh my goodness, look at all those gorgeous, gorgeous colors. And I just have no idea where to even begin. I want to swatch these. I do not want to make you watch that. Um, but there are things like there's colorless blenders. There are, I mean, these are just amazing. They have a broad tip. They have a fine point tip. And very, very cool. And I am just thrilled to have my very, very first set of alcohol markers. And and thank you again, Melinda. These are just amazing. And I will put a link to these below. I do not know how long the price point will stay as low as it is, but I think that if you are thinking that you would like to get a set like this, that now might be the right time to take advantage of the sort of off season before, the holidays and all the prices end up going back up and that type of thing. I also want to color with these in this video, but first I just want to put them in order and do a quick swatch of them, and I will come back and show you that. I don't know, I'm going to try two different kinds of paper. I've been watching a lot of tutorials, and they all say the same thing, that the alcohol marker is not nearly so as important as the paper that you use, because the quickest way to dry out alcohol markers is to use them on paper that is too absorbent. So I have this is my drawing paper, which has a sort of treated surface, and I'm going to try it with those. And then also my dear friend Sue, who uses alcohol markers all the time, swears by her Georgia Pacific 110-pound cardstock that I use primarily for water mediums, but she says that it also works really, really well on marker paper. Also, Anne has a recommendation at A Colorful Life for marker paper. I'll go get that and bring it back, and I'll put that link below. So I'll see you in a few minutes. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, please do. And you can also follow me on social media at these links. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'll see you in just a few minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Okay, I have finished swatching 100 markers. It took slightly longer than the few minutes I had anticipated. It is now Wednesday night at just after midnight, and I took advantage of the fact that I had my all the markers out of the case, and I went ahead and just taped the corners of my four little walls that I added to make it more rigid. So now they all stand up at attention. And this, I did elect to go with my thinner drawing paper that was coated. And I swatched using one of my plastic sheets. And look at all the beautiful colors. Let me zoom you down here so we can have a look at some of these. They are just fabulous. Now, I did swatch them in numerical order. There are Y's, there are R's, there are B's, there are G's, there are BG's, WG's, GG's, and CG's. Whoops, you can't see those. There we go. Now, Y's are all yellow based, R's are all red based, B's are all blue based, G's are all green based. Then there is a blue gray, a warm gray, a green gray, and a cool gray. So there are two cool grays, Those are here. 3 of all the rest of the kind of grays. So this would be the warm gray would, I think it's sort of closer to what we would call the French grays. The blue grays are cool, additionally, and the green grays are warmer. So lots of wonderful grays for shadows. Then, of course, the Y000 starts out with dim green, which is a very light tan color, but big yellow based. And then it just goes down. They are grouped in families. So, you know, these 3 are very complementary and in the same general family, as are these and these. And so it does go down. Really, really beautiful. Now, I did it like this so that I can cut this page in half and then glue it inside of my, of my swatch book. So I will go ahead and just show you real quick how I do that. Just cut this page right in half, and then I will, let's see. As you can see, I did start to swatch the, as I'm opening them, the Zier glitter paint pens that I showed you last Sunday. And they are so beautiful. And I only opened 2, but this is what they look like, just with no color behind them at all. And then, of course, they are so wonderfully glittery. So I want to turn to a fresh page, but rather than, well, why not? I think I can do it like this. So I'll put it here, and I'll just use my trusty stapler to staple it in. Well, of course, I will refill that and glue the rest of these in. But for right now, you can see what I've done. And it's got a gorgeous selection of purples and pinks, tons and tons of reds. I was playing a little bit with the colorless blender here. I've been watching some videos, and rather than using this to blend the pens, basically they recommend, the videos that I saw, recommend that you use it like you would use a, oh, what's the one where you put the lids together or the points together and they marry, and then you can make a gradation of color. So that is what I'll probably use the colorless blender for. Also, I know that the colorless blender is good for chasing back those little places that you might go over on a page. So I saw that at Anne at A Colorful Life, who likes the CLAarts as well. So let's color something. I will put this together and be right back. Hello everyone, and welcome back. Okay, so it is best, I believe, to store markers on their sides. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on their sides. I can actually see the numbers. I'll probably end up having to pick them back up, but I'm going to put my stapler underneath to hold them up so I can see the numbers. And here is my swatch pad with all the colors all tacked down in my book. So they have their own page. And I've got my mandalas book, and I picked out this one to give it a try. And so you'll get to see me color for the very first time with alcohol markers right here. And if I can work it out on how to use them, then I will on my Sunday show this month, which is next week. It is, or Sunday, which is the 30th, I believe. Yep, Sunday the 30th of June. I'm going to be coloring in the new Nadia Vasilkova that I was kindly gifted last week. And I might even do one of the people instead of one of the animals. We shall see. There are some absolutely fabulous skin tones in the CLAart set. Primarily skin white, which is just gorgeous. And its complementary shade, of course, is shrimp. Barely beige, which is complemented by flesh. There's blush, fruit pink. There's raw silk. There's cherry white. There's pale pink cherry. There's just a ton of beautiful skin tones. There's chamois. There is bitter chocolate. There is bronze. There is potato brown. There are beautiful, beautiful shades for every skin tone in here. Olivey skin tones, the olive yellows, um, uh, ethnic skin tones from across the globe are represented in these colors. And I just think that is wonderful. And once again, I love the big selection of greens, big selection of blues, lovely purples, reds, great colors. Okay, so I thought that we would try the tip-to-tip method, because why not just jump right in with the hard stuff, right? And so what I wanted to do was use a purple, and I like the deep violet because it's got a little bit of red. It does fall under the R color. It is R706. So let me see if I can easily grab R706. 702. Of course, I can't find it now that they're all in actual order, because it's impossible to stay in actual order no matter what. Let me find the two colors I want to use and I'll show them to you. Just one second. Okay, I've got it. It is R706 and R503. And I am going to use the fine points. By the way, I did swatch all of these using the broad tip, which is the chisel point. I don't think I showed that to you before. These have a beautiful chisel tip in addition to the fine tip. But I believe that for what I want to do, the fine tip is what I want. Now, always, I understand, put your darkest shade into your lightest. So I will just count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'll see what happens. Now normally I would not color with the color a space this large with the fine point, and I surely should never attempt it without a page protector. So that's my bad. But that's pretty cool. Oops, hang on, let me put this back on there just for a second and zoom you down. Now, what I am going to do, though, is switch over to the broad tip. For that part, just to add another layer so that it isn't quite as streaky. Once again, my very first time using these, probably I shouldn't be attempting to do something like this. I'm going to try a different method this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This time I'm going to try it like this. I'm also turning my nib over just slightly. Just so I kind of like that. See how it looks when it's completely dry. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gonna try it a little bit like this again. You see, it doesn't come up far enough if I do it like that, but that's okay, because every leaf does not have to look exactly the same. And also, keep in mind that these are brand new, and so they are still working out. Like that is a much smoother one, as I'm sort of figuring out how it is that they work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try this one. Again, more up and down. Be hard to get used to. I'm so used to not using that scrubbing motion that it's weird for me to, because you know that is the one that you actually need to use. Once again, this is also Create Space paper, which is not the best for doing something like this on, or actually Kindle KDP paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go back to doing it side to side. Whoops. Sorry, get up there where you can actually see it. This time I'm doing little circles to see if maybe that helps with that initial blend. Just trying to learn how the tools work. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm also going to try direct blending with just putting the darker color down first and then the lighter color over it, and see about blending it that way. That's probably the best one yet. Okay, so now let me do that. We put the right cap on the right pen and switch it over to the chisel tip and I'm going to use it in the narrow portion. Like that. And then go with the bigger portion. Okay, now you see that works, but it's a little bit harder. You got to put down a whole lot more ink, and look how much bleed I'm getting because of all that ink. It's got to go somewhere. So that is probably not the best choice for that, or at least not the way I was doing it. Could be user error. Absolutely. But that's what they make white Posca and all that kind of good stuff for, is so you can fix all that stuff. All right. So I'm going to go back to doing it like this. Whoops. Yeah, dark. Okay, dark into light. This is my light. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this might be the better for what I'm trying to do. Now, I don't know if you can put the chisel tips together and have it be the same kind of effect or not. I'm going to get a little bit more color on there, because I don't think I got this part very well. Trying to keep it where you can see it and still manage my thing while holding 2 pens. And my swatch book is hard. Okay, there we go. Well, that didn't turn out very good. That's definitely user error, though. That was my bad for completely messing that other one up. See, I just got to the point where I was doing it good, and I gave up on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anne makes this look so easy. And I know it's because she's had so much practice at it. And if you watch this and have any tips, please leave them for me in the comments below. Or any of you who regularly use markers. Because I'm sure not being very good at it yet. In for a penny, in for a pound. I'm just going to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm holding it a little differently on the thing. I'm actually holding it sort of side to side, so it looks like it's filling up faster, which is why I've shortened up the count. And see how it actually retains a lot of the dark purple around the nib, and that is what's causing that striping to be going on. So I think I may just need to clean this off just a little. Yeah, see, it gets beautifully smooth again. So I'm not doing any harm to the marker or its true color, which is good. Gonna just add a little bit of the dark purple, oops, to sort of throw in down here. And it could be that I've just gone with too big of a leap for contrast. You know, I might have tried to do this in 3 gradients as opposed to 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to try this one again this way. See, now that's the best one so far, and that was the 3rd one that I did. And I think that was the first one that I did with the little circles, wasn't it? So maybe the little circles is the key. Maybe not. Are you guys laughing yet? I'm laughing. Oh my goodness. That's okay. You can laugh at me. Y'all know I can color with ink tints, right? And sometimes I can even color with pencils. These are such a beautiful gift. Thank you so much, Melinda. I I am going to actually color a person, and I will do a little bit of, certainly do a little bit of practicing with these tomorrow and or Friday and Saturday, so that I am prepared for Sunday's show, so I don't look like a complete and total idiot. But um, this guys is how you learn a new uh, how you learn a new tool. You don't start out good at it. You have to figure it out and practice with it and make it your own and adapt it to your way of coloring. Thank goodness that's over. Yahoo! We made it through the first flower. I just want to make sure that that tip is really cleaned off. So there we go. And okay, now we can figure out a different flower to use, or different colors. Yeah, that's kind of terrible. I do wonder if what I can do to fix that. Besides, let it dry for a little while, and then maybe, just maybe, come in with a mid color, like oh boy. Yeah, see, I went with a big, this was a big jump between the pastel pink, which is what I chose, the 503, and this deep violet. That's a big contrast jump. And so this kind of result is probably not out of line for that. I think if I'd have gone the pastel pink to maybe one of the lighter purples, perhaps even the hyacinth, that I would have gotten perhaps a much better result. But that is the kind of thing that you live and you learn. Who knows? Maybe I can cover this up with something. Let's see if the color, I've seen Anne do this before, and I don't know if I can do it or not, but I've seen her chase back these bleeds with the colorless blender. So let me see if that works. It kind of does. It really kind of does. It did sort of chase that back right into there. The darkest part of it, at any rate, left a little, a little light pink residue. But that I can live with, because I can cover that over with, with a pink or something like that. Because that's what I was going to do, is I was going to use the glitter, the new Zier glitter pens, and use the pink one to do this center ring, or maybe even gold. Either way, it would cover that up, because these are very, I mean, they're translucent, but they're opaque enough to be able to cover a mistake like that up. And so this is definitely going to have glitter on it, because I love glitter. But that's good to know that that'll do that. Okay, let's pick flowers or let's pick a color, or I'll pick a color. for the center flower, and we'll see what we can do with something else. I'll be right back. Hello everybody and welcome back. Oh, what a difference a few minutes makes. While I was watching the first few bits of the playback of this video in my video editor, I did take the opportunity to actually fix the, I could not live with that. It was too awful. And I just added just the darker color, and then I used the lighter of those two shades that we had started with around the edges. I will do something a little more decorative with a metallic gel pen, and not actually try and go for the fancy stuff right out of the box. I'll have to watch a few more videos and learn how to do that with CLAarts. I'm sure that you can do it. I've seen Ann do it, so I know it can be done, and then I will practice some more. But to move this particular project along, I'm going to do this center flower in blue. I have selected from my swatch list the 203 pastel blue and the 204 baby blue. As you can see, they are just slightly different. I'm going to use the baby blue on the underleaves down here, and the pastel blue on the top leaves. So the pastel blue is the 203. So I actually prefer, I believe, the chisel tip. Although it is a little more difficult to control around tight spaces. But I think it's a much better choice. So I am just going to straight color. I'm not even going to try and blend with these first try out. Or maybe I will try and blend, but after I don't think that Create Space paper or Kindle KDP paper is the best for this. I think what I want to do is I want to get a good marker paper and then try and do the blending and things like that. Like I say, I've seen Ann do it. She does a beautiful job. I am going to go back and watch some of her videos early on where she was blending with her CLAarts and have her teach me how. That's what the wondrous thing about all those videos that people make and leave there for all of us to see, is that they are always there when we need to learn something. Even if the video's been there for 2 or 3 years. I do have to say that the quickness of coloring with markers is a winner from my point of view. And once again, I had never really had a hankering for, whoops, I'm slowly but surely pushing things off my desk, for the alcohol markers, but when the price on the CLAarts dropped, and I knew that you would never get a deal like 100 markers for under $40 again, I felt comfortable wanting them. Markers are one of the more expensive coloring mediums out there, beside really good watercolor paints or, museum quality pencils, which I also don't need. And these are really cool. And I can imagine doing the lighter, laying down the base of marker and then doing pencil shading on top and having it just be absolutely stunning. And so that, I think, is what I'm going to do with this. And once again, I really like, I love, these are very, very smooth. There's no streaking at all. They're juicy. Each one has the individual color written in a, it's written on this thing in very tiny letters. I did have to use my magnifier to be able to read them. But of course, I did write them down. Now, the CLAarts are not technically refillable, nor are they sold open stock. But who knows? That could change someday. And just like my microns that say they're not refillable, I feel probably fairly certain that there are videos out there that show you how to refill a non-refillable marker. Although you never know. Gorgeous colors. Really, really beautiful colors. And I love how that step down in color step down in darkness and contrast just gives a very nice effect to that flower. Now I'm going to go back to the pink once again for this. I'm going to probably go with the pastel pink again for this particular flower. Just because I think that would be pretty. And then we can zhuzh it up with pencil and glitter and all kinds of very cool things. Sorry, I do keep spinning my book. I can color without spinning it, see? And maybe the excuse me. It is once again hot and humid here in Virginia. So the house is completely closed up with nothing but the air conditioner. And I miss the cool, crisp air. To wait 3 months for it, or yeah, about September is when we start to get cool weather again. Okay, so I just did that as a little stripe I think it just adds some visual interest there. So, let me see about pulling in some pencil on top of this, and let me grab my, I think I'm going to grab the delis, which are the oil-based pencils that I used on Sunday, rather than the Prismacolors. So let me grab those out. I'll be right back. Okay, now this is my swatch in my swatch book of the beautiful deli pencils. Now this was done also a swatch I did on my drawing paper. So this is not really very representative of how dark these pencils can actually be. They look very pastel on this paper because it is super, super smooth. It is designed for my micron pens. It's got absolutely no tooth at all. So it's not really recommended for swatching pencils, but I'm thinking that the pencil that I want to add some highlights with is either the 133 or the 134, which I do believe is one of these two pencils. We will try them out and see what they look like. Once again, these are the delis. It is a set of 72 pencils in this beautiful tin. They are oil-based, soft core, and I am told, although I'm not absolutely positive of it, that they are quite similar to the polychromos. And they're at a huge, usually reduced price point at only $26 for 72. So I can highly recommend them. I do love them. Now this is the 133. It is the lighter of the two. I'm just adding a little zhuzh, you know. Can add it down one side. Fade it into the corner there. Just a little shadowing. Goes down over the marker really well. Now, of course, just because they're oil-based, they also do have wax, but, and then I'll use the slightly darker shade down here in this spot, in the lowers. Just to add a little shadow in there. I like that. And I can do the same thing with a darker pink up in here. And I think this will be a very pretty mandala when we get done. Okay, since I do like to keep my videos to just about 1 hour, I will go ahead and call this one done, at least for today. I hope that you have enjoyed seeing about the CLAarts, that if you do decide to get some, that you can, make it into a case that is much easier to use just by using a old mailing envelope to sort of build some sides for it. And that way they don't all go flopping around in this beautiful soft case. I do love that it folds over, zips up so nicely, and of course you can just carry it off to wherever it is that you're going. I like that it is easy to store on its side, which always markers should be, and the reason why is you want the alcohol to be flowing to the tips so that it keeps them wet and juicy. Otherwise the tips can dry out on you, and you just end up having a, if they've been stored with the fine point up and you want to color with the fine point, you don't want to have to wait to use it until you can get the alcohol to flow back down to the fine point. So it is best to just go ahead and permanently store them on their sides. Thank you so much to Melinda for this absolutely fantastic gift of these for my art studio, and I am going to be using them once again to color in. I will be coloring from a guest artist, Nadia Vasilkova's book, Magic Dreams, on Sunday at the Sunday Live Color and Chat. And thank you very much for watching. If you do have any questions at all, or would like to see me color something specific from any one of my books using any one of the mediums that I have, I would be happy to do so. Anything that you would like to say, please put it in the comments below and I will get to it. Just in case you're wondering, I did review the Sunday chat and found that I had not missed any questions. Yay! First time for that. At least none that weren't answered by either my moderators or my wonderfully in-tune fans who were able to address any questions that newcomers had. Again, thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. I am Christine Aldridge, CLAldridgeArt, and until we meet again, please color something pretty. Bye, everybody.